I sincerely hope that every single one of you takes something away that you did not know that is going to help you go from a place to a place with your business. Okay? So I'm going to hand over to you, Zoe Cairns, and thank you very much.
Thank you. Louise. Of course you can. Yeah. 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 Of course. Yeah. 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 The way around it, how you can do it, is the way that I would say use the business page as well. So let's say, for example, you want to promote a new product, okay? But you go on and you give a tip instead. So you might say, like the blue, I'm going to pick on the blue Smash lipstick that you've got at the moment. So if you wanted to promote that out to your friends, you could do, check out my new lipstick, okay? So you do a live video about your new lipstick, and at the end you give a little call to action about the lipstick, okay? So you could do it that way, in a roundabout way that you're using it as in terms of you're telling everyone about your new lipstick, and that's what most of you are doing anyway. If it's got like, you know, come and join my team, that's when you're using it as a business. Does that make sense? So you're using it in a commercial way. But if you used it more in a personal, this is why I mentioned about stories, tell people stories, it's about you. But at the end, people are saying, oh, I really like that story, this is what they're doing. You're sharing your story rather than promoting your business. Does that make sense? So you can use it in that way, Louise, rather than doing it in a commercial way. Question?
Thank you. When you go live on your personal page,
Yes.
It seems to reach out to a larger audience than on a group. But obviously, if we're doing like a tutorial on makeup, that is our business, but are we allowed to do that?
Yeah, I would say you can do that, because it could be that I don't sell makeup. However, I still think, oh, look, you've got to check out my eyelids, out what I've just done. I've just, you know, creatively done this. It's about you. You might not be mentioning a company name. So you can still do it that way.
You'll then get comments of people saying, how much is this?
So when they say that, just put visit my company page.
Okay.
And then you're getting the community come over, or you can private message them. But try not to mention it. Just because the more you get engagement anyway, you can then get them over to your company page or your group. I would say more your group, okay? Because you're with the algorithm, with the business page, I feel the group's more powerful. That makes sense. Yeah? Is that all right? And just a question at the back.
I just wanted to ask a bit like Louise's question, really. Is there like top 3 things that flags to Facebook corporate that you're using it? So we know we're not supposed to put links in our personal profiles, but what are the like top 3 things that would flag it to Facebook that you're using it as for your business?
It's the keywords that you're using that really flags up and goes to Facebook filter. Keywords that you're using in your personal profile. So number 1 is your name that you're using for your personal profile. That would flag it straight away. Number 2 is if you're using links to corporate sites. However, that doesn't flag it as much as what you think it would, because we could say, oh, I highly recommend this bar or restaurant we've just been at, go and check it out. So it's not so much as a highlight to Facebook, but keywords are. So you can buy this off of my business they're flagging keywords such as, I can help you make more money. All these things they're flagging, they've got certain keywords, the same with advertising. It's the keywords that they're filtering, and it could even be pictures. So pictures, as crazy as it sounds, if we download our image, an image has coding in. I'm not going to get into too much technical, but I want to give you the overview. You think, how can my picture have coding in? Believe me, it's got coding in behind. So if you've downloaded it from Unique website, the image that you're using, or the portal that you'll use, or your university that you're getting your images from, every image has coding in the back of where it's originally sourced from. So if you're then uploading that as an image, that could flag to Facebook as well, the images. That's why sometimes when people get a lot of engagement, is another flag. If Facebook see you're getting lots and lots of engagement on a video, on a picture, it will flag it up to their team, because as much as Facebook love us engaging on Facebook, they want to know what posts, and that's why when it comes up in trending, what posts are getting a lot of engagement, what posts are getting a lot of likes, and they check it out. Filters. So number 1 is the name, number 2 is keywords, number 3, if you're getting a lot of engagement on your personal profile, that's what's flagging it. Just one more question and then we're...
Hello.
Hello.
When it comes to the picture, you say it's got something in it. If
Yeah.
we were to put it into like a one of the apps that you can add your own text and things, does that then delete that, what it comes from?
Each image has got a bit of text called a source code behind it. It's quite technical, as in terms of, you know, when you download an image and it calls it a file name of like 2001 300, and I don't know whether any of you have designed a website before, HTML code and stuff like that. You know, I don't want to go too much into it because it'll be too confusing. However, each image, when you upload it, it's got its own code of what size it is, keywords as to what it might be. It's got alt text, which means what the image was originally called. It might have, someone might have even, like a photographer will code their images. So if it's being used across the net, they can identify where. Does that make sense? So it's quite in-depth, but just be aware that the image, that's what you need to be careful. That's why it's great to take your own images, you know, your raw images. You know, as much as you've got to be careful with branding and stuff with Unique, and you need to make sure you look at those terms, taking your own images of, you know, lining up your makeup, or, you know, as you're putting makeup on, you take some great creative images. Sometimes it's great to do your own images rather than taking some from corporate. And I don't know where you stand with that from a corporate point of view with Unique. That's something that I would ask them about image copyright. But just make sure that you use your images in the personal profile. Company page, fine. But with your personal profiles, to get around that loophole, that's what I would do. Okay, I've got a few more questions. Is it specifically on groups? Yeah, okay, Joe, if I can get a mic to you.
Yeah, on the groups, you can have them as closed, secret and public or open.
Yes.
What are you recommending for these? Are these more open groups, these discussions that you're talking about?
I would say that it's a closed group, because if it's open, what you want to do is you want to get people to join your group. If it's open and you're posting the same types of things from your page into your group, what then gives them the incentive to join that group? So I would say it's a closed group. However, what can you start doing in that group that will be different from your page? So for example, it might be that you give more tips away, so you give video tips away in the group rather than on your page. It could be that you do on a regular basis. It might be, right, on a Wednesday we have unique share. You have unique share, which is where you say, right, everyone in the group, invite 2 or 3 people to the group, and let's start sharing our experience. So a good example of that might be that you've got a group for all of your team, so your presenters, and they might invite 2 or 3 people to the group that might be interested in becoming part of the community. But you allow them to join the group, those 2 or 3 people, for a period of time to experience it, but then you then say that we're going to remove you from the group after a week, and they might be, but I still want to be part of the community. So it's enticing them to come in the group, and then you're then saying, you know, there's a time scale on you being part of that group for that time. You need to provide information in that group that's going to allow people, what they're going to want to stay is going to be different to your page and your personal profile. You need to give them some really great content, and we're going to talk about content later on. What content can you share in a group that's completely different to your company, giving away your best stuff that you know around makeup, that you know around beauty, etc. It could be that you have someone, you know, if you've got a team of people, or you've got a group of people that want to learn about makeup, for example, that might be your discussion group. What about inviting someone as an interview, that you're having a special guest into the group? So you put on your page, you're having a special guest to our group. You can only hear the interview via Facebook Live if you're part of the group, and you get those people to come and join the group to see that exclusive interview. Does that make sense? It could be a blogger, makeup blogger, it could be an expert within their field, it could be a journalist within the beauty industry, and you're going to interview them in the group. Okay? Make sense? Okay. Okay, so the question was, just repeat back for the video, is that would you use the products that are at the top? Now, you can see that there's lots of ideas on this sheet, and it gives you a rough idea on the monthly searches. So it could be that you don't use the one at the top because it might be lower. It might only be 1 to 10k people searching it, whereas the top one's 10 to 100. So it's just really looking at the ones that get a higher amount of searches, but also the lower ones as well, because people are still looking for them. Okay, so vary it, see which ones you get the most response on. Okay? Does that help everyone? Yeah? Just try, when you do updates, try and include some of those keywords.
I'm guessing that if you put in something like liquid lipstick,
Yes.
that other brands would come up?
Yeah, do you want me to show you?
Yeah, if you could.
So if we say like you put your own brand name of so you put in there unique, it would come up with other things that people would put alongside unique as well.
Okay.
But if you put in, you can put anything in there to see what comes up. Because sometimes what we think that people are looking for is actually the complete opposite, because we're going on our own presumptions. So it's good to get an idea of what people might be putting in there. So if I put in there liquid lipstick, okay, so you've got liquid lipstick, and then you've got these others here. Colour Stay lipstick, liquid to matte.
So it's going to show us who our closest competition is, and I'm just thinking how you could use that in a post without putting the other brand down, but maybe saying, you know, similar
with your videos that you create, your Facebook Live videos, okay, how many of you save them to your camera roll and then upload them to YouTube? Yeah? No? So I'm just answering your question here. So I'm going around it and coming back. Okay. So how many of you, raise of hand, save your Facebook Live video to your camera roll? Okay. Now, if you save it to your camera roll, you can then go and use that on other platforms like YouTube. YouTube is the second largest search engine online. Okay. And Google owns YouTube. So now YouTube videos come to the top of Google searches. If you took your video that you've done Facebook Live and uploaded it to a free YouTube channel that you can create via a Google Mail account, and it says add tag words, you could put in these tag words of your competitors, but they wouldn't see it. They wouldn't see it. Okay, makes sense? So if someone was to go in Google rather than Facebook or Twitter, and they was to type in Revlon liquid lipstick, then hopefully your video would start to come to the top of Google and you'll be found. Make sense?